is the club using?
Good afternoon. My name is Toastmaster Sheila. I am a VP of Yamanote Toastmaster Club in Aruba, and we use a Google form to keep record of all the roles that our members have had up to today for all the educational meetings.
Okay, Google form. Any other? Excel? I see Excel.
Good
Mainly
evening.
Excel. Go ahead.
I'm Daphne from MNI Speakers, and we use easySpeak.
Yeah. Okay. Any other? Excel. Okay, mostly Excel.
Good
One or
evening. I'm
yes.
Euphemia Robinson, Meadowvale Toastmasters, and we use Excel.
Excel. Okay. Right. So I'm going to share my screen, and I would like to take you to a presentation. There are several methods or several ways that you can keep track of your educational throughout the year. Excel is one of the main used, and this one can be transported from one year to the other very easily. Google Form also can keep the records, and my presentation doesn't want to open. Okay, but what we would like to go through today is easySpeak. But before going to easySpeak, I would like you to see there are other methods and why for me easySpeak is my choice if my presentation opens. But any of you may have seen there are clubs that use free toast host. Maybe some of you have heard of that. There is also Toast Most. And recently there is another one that I discovered that Toastmaster International also endorse. So all the ones that I have mentioned so far, Toast Host, Toast Most, and also easySpeak, they are endorsed by Toastmasters. But mind you, they are not from Toastmaster. So they are third party software that the club can use, the same as they choose to use Excel. So far, most of them are free of charge. Recently, Toastmost started to charge a small fee in order to use it. And also easySpeak, you can give a donation, but it is not mandatory. Now, why am I promoting easySpeak? I have used as Vice President Education from a club. I have used Toast Host, and it is easy to make your meeting agenda, but I didn't get the feel of having the records keeping that easy. For the making of the agenda, scheduling the agenda, and interacting, because most of the ones that I have mentioned, you can also get a how do you say, a website with it. Okay, I finally got my presentation to open. Now let's see if it can share. This is crazy. Okay. I just opened. think you can see my presentation now. If you can, thumbs
Not
up.
sure if
No,
you
we can't.
that you started screen sharing, but I haven't seen anything.
Okay, coming up slowly.
Can see it now,
We're
Valerie.
seeing it now.
Okay, and now I lost my screen, so I'm flying blinds now. It doesn't matter. So, as I mentioned, which method, and I mentioned a couple of them, toastmost.org. This is the club that I coach, buddies, and also there is online presenters that uses toastmost.org, and the owner of toastmost.org is also the one that chartered the online presenters club, and this is one that I've worked with for almost a year. Well, for the whole year that I was vice president education. A very good tool to schedule your meeting, send invitation, get guests engaged to come to your meeting, especially if you have online, you can share the link very easily. But as I said, I didn't find the part of tracking the members' data, and especially to pass it on to the next year. That one I didn't like that much. There is this other one, Free Toast Host. Also, another club that I'm member of is using it. This one I didn't think it was very friendly for the users. A lot of users, when they forget their password, it is a very complicated matter to get them back in. So they start using it, and then they stop. And then you have this new one that I discovered. It's called Toastmasters Club Software. And just for scheduling club meetings, I don't know much about this one, but it seems to be one also that people can use. Then there is easySpeak. And as you can see, I have here the front page of Nova Power Speakers that started using this one. As you see, you can get it with the website, and it is very interactive. Usually, up to now, I'm not much into working the part of the front page. I love the interaction as vice president education, scheduling meeting, getting members data, know where members are, see in one fly the results of how members are doing throughout the year, what paths they have chosen, what are they working on. So with easySpeak, I can find this very, very easy. There isn't much time for me to go in depth with all this, but I do want to let you know why easySpeak is one of them that I think will help officers and members, because it is a tool effective for the club officers. You have everything centralized, and you can communicate with members through the website, through the tool. If I want to remind of the upcoming email, I just click one button. It has all the emails from the members, and with just drafting or editing a pre-drafted email, I can send it out. So my way of working as vice president education becomes very easy, and it is a tool for public relation within the area, the division, and the general public. It helps officers to prepare the responsibility and free up time to do more with the members. It can easily engage in seeing member X didn't give any speech or hasn't taken any role in a long time. Instead of going and looking into your Excel sheet and go through all these things and try to remember who did what last. Here you will have it all in one view. And for members also, they have easy access to officers, but also with other members through the website. And also, whatever you are learning in easySpeak, it is something that you can use also outside of it. The skills that you will need to to plan and work in easySpeak, these are things that you can take out of Toastmasters also. And how do you, as a club that hear about easySpeak, how can you get there? Well, the first thing, if you visit a club, the way that even if you are a visitor, you can get a user ID, it is the same as you visit any website that you need to interact with the website. You create a user ID. That's the same way with easySpeak. You can create a user ID, or the club that you are visiting will create a user ID for you that you can modify anytime. But the reason for them to create a user ID is for you to get on the roster of the club so they can keep track of everything. So when you have visited the club, or you have a user ID, you can go to the help options of the site, and then you can ask to add your club. Any officer can add the club. What you need is the club number and naturally the permission of the club to work and to ask for a site. Once you have a site, you will get an email from the easySpeak coordinators. I mentioned in my had mentioned in my um, introduction the name of Coach Carol or Malcolm. Malcolm is the thinker and the one that started easySpeak, and he's working now with others to help maintain the site. So you will be getting an email from them telling you welcome, and in that email it will give you a lot of information that not only you can that ask for it can get to learn more about how to set up your club, but also to learn more about it. And also, it will give you tips and information that you can share with the club members how to go about being part of your new setup. And the way that you will do that is the same way that you will go into your Club Central. You download the members list, because you would do it also whether you're working with your Excel sheet to know to list all the members with their email address and their contact information as an officer that is entitled to you to work with that information. When someone joins Toastmaster, it will give that permission. So you will use it solely for club business. And this would be a club business when you are going to set up for easySpeak. So you download the member list and you will be working with that. And in one click, you can upload the information once you receive the email from easySpeak that it okay for you to go ahead and here's your website. You will, as an administrator, you will be then going into the back end of easySpeak and upload all the members. There are two ways that you can do that. You can do that in one by, as I said, downloading the roster from the members, or one by one. But oh my God, that is a lot of work, especially if you have a club with 30 plus members. That's one by one. You have to create the user ID, And then if you do it one by one like that, the member will get an email from easySpeak with their user ID and their password. But that takes you as the person to set it up, to set up the club, a lot of work. Once your club is set up, that is no problem, and it is recommended to do it one by one, or if you have three or four in one setting, you can do that. But for doing 30 plus or more, or even 20 plus, it is a lot. So you do it by downloading the club central or the roster from the club center. As an administrator, you will get this message, and this message you get because you can do some harm when you're trying to set up and you do not do it correctly. But even so, it can be reset. So don't worry about that. But it's still, be cautious, because if they have to reset, that means that you have to start anew, and you don't want to do that. So yes, I will write the name in a moment. So as an administrator, you start here, and this is where you can, in the control panel of easySpeak, is where you're going to set up your club. And this information, you do it once. And this part is the most tedious part. But once you set up everything, believe me, it will make your work easy, and also the members. So you will set up your club. You will have all these to address, to name your club, where you meet. Now they have this option that you can meet virtually, hybrid, and online, or you can say, if you're doing only virtual, you can choose one of these options. The nice thing about it is, if you're doing hybrid, whenever, especially now that we have a maximum of capacity, when members are acknowledging that they are coming to the meeting, when you put the maximum amount, it will tell the member there is no more space in person. So you will have to meet virtually. You will also create, if you are an existing club, like I know that Toastmaster Daphne is also on the call. Um, the newest club that one of the newest clubs that we had is M&I, and M&I started from scratch, new club, starting to use this. So their number of meeting is number one when they set it up. But if you're an existing club, especially in the middle of the year, if you're trying to set it up now, you will just say, this is our 20s, 12th or 14th meeting, or if you want to count since last year or since your start of the club, if you know, you can put in here what is the number of meetings that you're going to start with. What will happen here is that because you have filled in your meeting days and times, anytime that you're going to create a new meeting, it will automatically come up with the correct date for you. So this makes your setup very easy also. You can customize the meeting rules that you have. Not all clubs have, for instance, Joke Buster. You can select that, or you can leave it out if your club doesn't have it. Also, your meeting format you can preset, so all that will be easily done for you. So this is for the display of your meetings, especially for guests trying to find your club. You can customize all this, and this is the administrator or most of the time, the vice president education that is known to the club will do this part, but it can be done together. And this is the nice part, uploading of the membership. As I mentioned, you can do it in one time or you can do it one by one. And when you do it one by one, the member will get an email from the easySpeak welcoming them, giving them their username and their password. When you're doing it as a download, the member will not get this email from easySpeak. You will have to create an email to send to all the members telling them that your site is set up and naturally give them also a run through. Another nice feature of it is also you can upload in one setting all the parts and all the projects that the members has done up to now. There is a specific Excel sheet that you can customize, and then when you have everything filled in one click, you upload everything. And here are some of the features that I'm going to go very fast through them, but anyone that's interested, they can get more information later on. This is one of the emails, preset emails that I mentioned. Once your easySpeak is set up, the Vice President Education has several ways of sending preset emails. The very first one, and they can choose to who it's going. It will go to all the members, no inactive members, special guests that you will have. Those are Toastmasters that are going to have a role in your meeting. You want to re-invite them or letting them know that the meeting is going on. Visitors are non-Toastmasters that are potential, that are prospect members. Either you select them also to let them also get the email that you're going to send as a mass email. And these are other emails options that you have. So this is again the front page, and this is the Vice President Public Relation can do whatever the Vice President Education Public Relation would do with a website. They can do it here and customize it as your club. And this is the part that members will be using most of the time. Every meeting, the member will get the next meeting, and they will be able to choose which roles they are going to take on. First thing, they need to acknowledge that they're going to be at the meeting. If they want to do a speech, they are not able to insert the speech as is. They will need to request the speech first. Why? Because maybe this meeting, we only have 2 speakers slot, and there are 5 members that want to do their speeches. So that's why you need to request it, and the Vice President Education will allocate or acknowledge which members are going to do the speech. This is an overview that a member will see. And as you can see, a member can plot how many meetings you have scheduled way ahead to tell you what they're going to do the next 2 meetings. And this is the for the Vice President Education, heavens, because they don't need to run after members to get the meeting rules filled. This is how a member can request a speech. When you request a speech, you will choose your workbook. This member, me, I was working on presentation mastery, and you can get a pull down of all the different workbooks. And once you pull it up, it will give you also all the levels that you can say, okay, next meeting, the coming meeting, I'm going to do level one, project number three, and then you will put all the other details, the speech title, etc., etc. And this is a nice part for the member, but also mostly for the vice president education. In one setting, they can see all the members, what they are doing, and what they needs to be doing still. All the ones that are done are check marks, and the blue boxes are the ones that the members are still need to be doing. And with this, a vice president education can choose, can go to a member to let them know, okay, I'm going to schedule you for that. So far, any questions?
There was a question about a Excel sheet that is populated with members' completed projects. Tyrone was asking
Oh,
where or how you got that view.
okay. This one?
Is
No,
it
the
this one,
Excel.
Tyrone?
No, I guess not. I didn't show it. I mentioned it. I mentioned that you can, there is a template in the welcome letter that you will receive from easySpeak. It will give you a template where you can populate that with the information of the members. Partially, it is the, if you download it from the roster Club Central, it will come with the level that I'm at. For instance, I'm doing level 2 of presentation mastery. It will come as is from the roster. But now in the Excel sheet that you're going to prepare to upload, you will detail when I did level 1, 2, and 3. If I have done it this year as a vice president education, you can just take the past agendas, and then you can populate that Excel sheet before you put it in. Otherwise, what you will need to do is one by one, choose the member's name, and then upload each one of them one by one. And that means you have to request it, fill in all the information, the title, and everything. But if you do it once in the Excel sheet, with one click, you populate all of it. And when you do it, it will come something like this. This is the role history. It will tell you. Um, no, this is just for the yes. This is part of it where it will tell you up to now what all the member has been doing for all the meetings that you have had so far. But once you are working with easySpeak, this is also a very good tool that you will be able to monitor, or even at the end of the year where you want to take your outstanding member or the best of the best. This is where you go and find all the information. This is how it looks like when you go to this club. These are all the charts that you can get: roles by meeting, roles by member, participation chart, role history, even view who is mentors if you fill that in, the mentors of each club. If you do have a membership campaign and you are keeping track of how the members are doing, and also who introduced visitors. So all this you can have in one space. Okay, and this is a very, very quick view of what easySpeak can do. And
Sorry, I had a question.
okay, before I answer that, I'm just checking with our timer. Is this, do we have time for much time do we have for questions? Or we don't have any time?
TT and Fabiola, maybe we can facilitate one or two questions and then quickly move on to the next one.
You have 5 minutes to go. Okay. Toastmaster Laura, you had one question?
Thank you so much. First of all, I want to know what would happen. Well, when we get new members are inducted, how do we go about updating it? Can we re-download from the website, or do we now have to put those new members in manually?
That
And
would be manually. Yes?
oh, okay. And the second one would be, I see how this is great for us as VP Eds, but I can already foresee that some of my members are not going to want to use this system along with, tracking, doing what they need to do in Toastmasters International website. So, I mean, would you have any advice for that? Because the same way I have to run them down to find out when they're doing their speeches, what's the name of your speech, how the, it's the same. I'm gonna have to run them down to fill this out for themselves in easySpeak. So, any tips?
Well, not really. Once you upload all the members, so you already have their names, correct? So every meeting, if I do a speech, I do an evaluation, I do whatever, that will be saved after the meeting automatically. So the member doesn't have to do anything. The only thing they have to do is tell you, I want to do Toastmasters of the meeting. You can um, assign them, but the nice thing about it, I just showed one window where the member will get all the dates. It was 4 of them. So the only thing they have to do is click Toastmasters of the meeting, counter, whatever, and it is recorded. Other than that, they don't have to do anything. And your question about the new member, when, for instance, you are running a campaign, or even if a member tells you they have a guest, you will, or the member itself can invite via the easySpeak the guest. By inviting them, you are creating already a user ID. Because you are creating a user ID, the status of that user ID can be changed. So first, it is visitor, then it becomes a member, and automatically it is already in there. It is like you're signing your guest book. Instead of them signing it manually, it is signed on this side. Okay. My name is Fabiola Cleofa. This is my email address. This is my phone contact number. I was invited by Shirley. Once you do that, it's there. And the visitor can then become a member when it is voted in by just changing the status. That is that one clear, Laura?
Very clear, thanks. But just to reiterate, so when we do have someone that's going to be, inducted, we would have had to put them in manually one by one from when they started as a guest and, started to come to meetings regularly, etc.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Just one. But I forgot to answer your question about how to encourage members to use that, because they have to take it next to maintaining them in Club Central or TI website. A member doesn't record anything of themselves on the website, TI website or Club Central, if it's not the executive that registered their final award. So it is not something that they need to do next to that. This is only thing. Now, what is happening is you are using, for instance, Excel. You are inputting everything from the member in Excel. Starting with easySpeak, you will do it for a couple of weeks, maybe months. But at a certain point, it will become so natural that the member will be getting into it and they will see the benefit. Because if you ask me today, when did I give my first level 1 speech and I'm working now at level 3, I don't have it written anywhere if I do not go into Basecamp and if I've saved my, how do you say, my evaluations, and some of them I don't even get because my evaluator didn't give it to me, so I keep forgetting. I know that I finished because, you know, but here in easySpeak, because every meeting is recorded, you don't have to think twice and everything is recorded. And when a member can see the benefit of seeing their records from a week, a year, 2 years back, they will automatically start using it. It's ideal if each person. Oh, hello. This is an issue. I have a question. Could you please share and reply on Toastmaster? Okay, I will. Let me save this. Are there any questions? Other questions
I do
that I?
believe that we may be out of time though, as it
Yes,
relates to the presentation. Yeah.
I will
I know
share the
everybody wants to know
presentation.
more though, but we're out of time, sadly.
Just one remark. I can say that Toastmaster Elizabeth is a source that you can always knock on her door, I know for sure. And also all the clubs in area 28 are using it. And naturally also you can just call on me and I will help. Thank you.
And there's
Back to you.
also Facebook, social
Yes,
media I have to plug the social media, and we said social media. They have a Facebook support group for when you need the support.
correct. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Fellow Toastmasters, let us put our hands together. Let's unmute yourselves and let's make a little noise. We've been awfully quiet and just say thank you to our
Thank you.
immediate past division director, distinguished Toastmaster Fabiola. Thank you so much for sharing that with us.
Fabulous, fabulous, fabulous.
Awesome. And you hear the responses coming in. So it was timely and well presented. Thank you so much. Now, we just want to show appreciation to you for your time here. We know you're like what, 2 hours ahead of us? What time is it where you are now?
Just one.
Just one. Okay. So 1 hour ahead of us. Want to still thank you for being here. And so I'm going to ask at this time, or is it, yes, there you go. Our cert manager, the Toastmaster Senior. The floor is yours.
All right. Thank you, Toastmaster Sean. Immediate past division director Fabiola Cleofa. Thank you.
Sorry, hi Marco.
Thank you.
I have
You
Marco, just 1 sec. It's district director.
it's district, right? Sorry, yeah, district director. Thanks for that correction. You have demonstrated how easySpeak can make it for us and our clubs. And I can see our VP Ed utilizing this much more. So on behalf of Division B Tech Team, I hereby present to you this certificate of acknowledgement as we thank you so much for this presentation.
Point of information, double click.
Double click. The cert didn't come up. Go ahead.
Yeah, Murphy stepped in.
Oh, Lord.
Slap the side of the TV. Don't worry.
Sorry, I am still not showing. Are you seeing now?
No.
Are you seeing
There.
it?
No.
Pardon?
It's not there.
Oh, Lord.
Just stop sharing and then reshare.
All right, stop share and I'll go. Thanks for that, Murphy Lowell. Yes.
It wouldn't be a tech meeting without him, you know. It could not be a tech meeting without him.
Yes, it will just not be. Here we go. Any better?
Coming up.
There you go.
Good. So once more, thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Fabiola.
Awesome. Let's put our hands together again. Wonderful.
Wonderful, wonderful.
And you know, feedback is always important. So at this time, I'm going to ask for a Zoom master. There you go. Please, you have a minute, guys, to give your responses to the questions in the poll. Thank you so much.
This will break me. Do you have any family or friends? Oh, all I've done is
Madam Zoom master, let me know when you
And
have
then
closed the
poll
poll.
in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then poll now.
Thank you, everyone, for participating in the poll. I want to again just use this time to say thank you to all our previous presenters. We are now down to the crunch. And it's not a matter of saving the best for last. He's the only male presenting today, apart from me being here. But this final presentation is the whole crux of the matter why we're here. We all had to learn how to do this in 2020, and it's now here to stay with us as we move forward into 2021 and beyond. Zoom has become part of our everyday life meetings, for PTA, for parties, for getting to know you name it. It's almost like the COVID filter, if I may say that. Distinguished Toastmaster Shinari Bullock has been a Toastmaster since April 2021, served at club and district levels. He's currently the president of Ocherius Titans, and he has conducted trainings on Zoom and MailChimp for Toastmasters. So you know he's coming to us well experienced. A member of District 81's online meeting task force, he has experience with training clubs and district officers at all levels. If you were out at our club officer trainings, you would have experienced and seen him in action. But he will be sharing his knowledge and expertise today with us as we do a Zoom crash course. Now, even though we say a crash course, we not encouraging Murphy to call any kind of crash, but I want to yield the virtual space at this time to distinguished Toastmaster Bullock. Over to you.
Mr. Ponton, I believe you have a filter turned on in the video settings. You might want to take a look.
Can you hear me, Judge?
I can hear you. I think it's a filter.
It is, and I don't know how to remove it. I've got my assistant here. She's trying to, but I'm prepared to go forward with it. I'm here live. I'm not a cat.
I can see.
Toastmasters and friends, if you ever felt as if you are clueless about Zoom, you can rest assured that there is someone out there that is worse off than you are. You are not the worst. And today, if there are any gaps or anything that you feel uncomfortable about, we hope to clear that up for you, myself and Toastmaster Joni Laidlaw. Sean set the stage for us. We have all been on Zoom, and I'm going to assume that we're not starting from scratch, but we're not going to make that assumption without helping to get us all along in the same path. We're going to work up to it together, and we're going to try to do it quickly because we're mindful of the time. So to quote one of my favorite characters, this is the attitude I want you to take while you're going through this little session with us. You're braver than you believe and stronger and smarter than you think. And it's by a great philosopher named Winnie the Pooh. I see Toastmaster Sean knows that philosopher very well. So who's really behind COVID-19? Can anybody guess?
The Zoom platform.
Me.
Toastmaster Joni, that's one good answer. I heard another me. Go ahead, Tashima. So you're right,
Personally, I think
Toastmaster
it's
Joni.
environmental degradation.
All right, cool. And who can relate to this? Zoom meetings with video, all spiffy, but without video, audio only. All right, I see some hands.
Definitely.
So this is what we're going to do very quickly today. We're going to review the basics. Then I'm going to help to show you to help yourself. And that's the most important part, because in the time that we have here, we're not going to become Zoom masters and be able to point and click and check every option, but we definitely can set the groundwork. And if you have any questions or ideas or thoughts, then we want to spend a considerable amount of time on just answering questions and sharing ideas. In reviewing the basics, I'm sure by now everybody knows how to access a meeting. You're all on this meeting. You clicked a link, you went through registration process, and you're here. So it would have looked something like this, whether it's without a password or with a password. There's a little bit more to the string, or you go to the Zoom page and you click join and you put in your meeting ID and password. Some of you would have seen the mobile client and the desktop client, and these pictures are actually dated because on the desktop client, the home, chat, meetings, and contacts is now at the top of it. But the apps look pretty much the same and have a lot of the same functionality, but not exactly the same functionality. And we'll see a bit of the difference between those. And if you have questions or anything coming up out of what you're seeing or anything particular that you want to look at, please put it in the chat and we'll get to it. So if you're joining, when you go join meeting, you can actually push the down arrow and see a list of meetings that you have joined recently. And you can select them, but you'd still have to put in the password if it requires a password. Looking at the desktop experience, when you log in, it often looks something like this. And you notice in the bottom left corner, let's give me a little.
No, we notice a handsome fellow.
Thank you so very much, Toastmaster Shirley. All right, but apart from the handsome fellow, let's go back. In the bottom left corner, there's join audio. And some of us have challenges with audio coming into the calls. Maybe we missed where we're supposed to select connect to computer audio, and the headphone with a green arrow is there showing. And it will show also on your tablet and on your phone if you're accessing that way. So all you have to do is click on join audio and you will get this screen that says join with computer audio, or you can use phone call. For us, we're always going to select join with computer audio. Something else I want you to notice is that right at the bottom of your screen, if you look at the bottom of your Zoom windows right now, you will see participants, chat, share screen, record, reactions, or when a poll is active, you might even see polls. And those are the controls that most of us have when we join a meeting. So we've joined the computer audio. Sometimes we have problems with the audio settings, and I'm going to challenge you now to actually look beside that microphone button that has the red slash through it because you're muted, and click the up arrow that's right there. So you can do it right now on your systems. And some of you may have multiple options, some may just have one and system audio. So sometimes when you're having problems with audio, this is something that you can check to make sure that you're using the correct audio output. Settings. There, I'll go back quickly. You notice audio settings here, but clicking on that audio settings will take you to the entire settings menu, but on the specific tab for audio. And you can go through the audio, different audio settings. Beside that, you see something that looks like a video camera, and that's where you go to turn on your video, start and stop your video. And you can use that to select your virtual backgrounds. And for encouraging you to click it right now, there's something there that is new. So who can tell me what is that new thing? So click the up arrow right there and tell me what you see that is not in this list here. Video settings, choose for
this time HD camera.
Right, but look beside video settings, choose virtual background, and there should be something else that says video.
Video filter.
Video filter. All right, let's a bit of idleness right now. Who can find that cat filter that the poor lawyer used? So
You
click on
mean
video
his
filter.
kid? You mean the one his kid put on and he was forced to use?
I don't know the story. I just know that this guy showed up in a courtroom with a cute kitten. So who can find it? All right.
It's there.
I see hats going on. All right. That was a mean trick I played on you. It's actually not there, but I see people putting on all kinds of pretty filters. So what that situation with the cat was actually not due to a Zoom feature. It was due to another software that was on his computer, not Zoom, but as unfortunate, but you know, it happened on Zoom, so Zoom gets the blame. Cool, but know that we're in this screen with video filter, you have all the things you can choose, virtual backgrounds, and oh, Michelle Brooks, I see you. Nice, all right. So that takes you to where you can choose your different filters and backgrounds. And something to look out for, with choosing your virtual background, you can add an image, and that's how you add the different color cards that we use in our Toastmasters meetings. And you can just keep this window open if you are the timer and switch between the different colors. All right, so we're going to play a quick game. I have some images on the screen and they show different parts of the Zoom thing. So up this top left corner here that I'm focused on right now is you see this tab called security. Host and co-host would see that tab. Toastmaster Fabiola, I see you with your flowers. All right, and here's where the host can do different things to help keep the meeting more secure. Hosts nowadays also have this option that says suspend participant activity. So should you encounter a situation where you're being Zoom bombed, and I had that horrible experience a few months ago at a Toastmasters event, and we started muting people and kicking people out of the room and so on, and unfortunately kicked out the contest chair. And the contest chair could not get back in the room and had to find another device, had to borrow a device from one of their family members to get back in. And that's a setting that you can control where you can allow people to re-enter the room after being removed. But now there's an option that just says suspend participant activity. And that shuts down everything. So sharing, allowing people being able to use their video, whatever it is. And that allows you time now to calmly take the necessary steps to address the situation, to identify the parties that are doing the wrong thing. Something else that host will see is when we have the waiting room enabled, something will pop up, and now it just pops up at the top of the screen, and you can admit the person or you can look in the waiting room. Something that interests people is recording locally or in the cloud. And if you want to get more into that, make a note and we can get into that a little later. The three dots. And I want you to hover over anybody's picture, the tile of anybody's image. or just look at the bottom of your screen where that bar that goes across, you'll see those 3 dots, and those 3 dots show up in quite a few places. And wherever those 3 dots show up, it usually means that there are some settings or options that you can tweak and manipulate. So hovering over somebody's screen, I think in this meeting, the pinning of individual persons is off, but in most meetings that you go to, you'll be able to pin the participant that you want to view. And one of those like